Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Lisa Copeland, 15 Minutes of Fierce, and today is Tuesday, January 15th. And my computer's doing it to me again because I cannot see all of y'all. Ugh, that makes me crazy. So if I don't call out your name this morning, it's because a setting on my computer got messed up. So anyways, but I know you're all out there because I can see there's a lot of you out there this morning. So it's time to get back to business. I got up this morning at 4 a.m. I got asked to write an article for an automotive publication that has to go to print next week. So I got up this morning and I wrote it because have y'all ever felt like you're just drinking out of a fire hose? That you just cannot get caught up out there? My own fault. I know nobody feels sorry for me, but I really was working out in California last week. But, had to go celebrate one of my dearest friends in the world, Sharon Lecter, and the party just never ends with my tribe of women. Unbelievable. So today we're getting back to business, and I'm going to talk to y'all about this article that I'm writing because they want me to write it on sales mastery, and sales superstars. And one of the things that so many industry insiders say, and what so many people say, period, is where have all the salespeople gone? Where, that it is a lost art, in my personal opinion, in today's world. I don't know whether it's the fact that salespeople have gotten soft, if salespeople just aren't trained appropriately, if they haven't been trained like we did for just absolute survival. I mean, I was a commissioned salesperson by the time I was 20 years old. And if I didn't sell something, I didn't eat. And so there's something to that, right? So I want to read to you guys one of the things I came up with this morning. I'd love your feedback, not that I can see it. I wonder if I can go over here though and see. Oh, it makes me so crazy. Hold on a second. Give me just 1 second, everybody, because I definitely want to be able to see you guys and see what you're saying. Hold on. I know how to do it here. Give me just 1 second. All right, while I'm trying to figure out my life here, you guys throw out some hearts. What are you up to today? What are you up? What are you doing? What are you thinking about? Because we're going to talk about selling, and we're going to talk about the real way of selling as soon as I figure out where I can see all of your comments. Let's see. Window. Comments and reactions. Yay! I just found them. Oh my God, I feel so accomplished. Aaron Sheeks, good morning. Michelle and Max and Anthony. Oh, and by the way, so I don't forget, because I'm going to get on a roll here about selling, I'm going to be on Anthony's show tonight, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. We will be sharing it to my wall. So I have no idea what Anthony's going to talk to me about, but I can only imagine. So strap in, because he's really, really a good interviewer. So I'm sure he's going to get down to the nitty gritty. So you're going to see us again tonight. I'm excited about that. Chris Walsh and Mabel and Janelle and Dina and Laura. Okay, what we're talking about today is where have all the great salespeople gone? Where are they? I had a heck of a time trying to find them back in the day. And that's the number one thing that people bring me in for to any organization is sales strategy, and then how to hire, train, and retain a better breed of sales professional. Chris Martinez, I know you know all about that, don't you, my friend? Janelle and Zelinda. Okay, so I'm writing this article right now for an automotive publication, pretty big one, comes out on Monday mornings, about where have all the salespeople gone. So one of the things I talk about, I got up at 4 o'clock this morning as I need that time to be able to write, because after my big weekend, being out in the West Coast last week, heading into Phoenix to celebrate Sharon Lecter, yesterday and today, it's the same. I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose. I texted a really good client of mine last night, and I said, I didn't call you today because I'm drinking from a fire hose, but I promise we'll chat in the morning. Michelle. Okay, so if two people want to do business together, they won't let the details get in the way. If two people don't want to do business together, they will let any detail get in the way. And, I want to put that out there for all of you entrepreneurs and for all of you out there who make a living in sales. I have spent my entire career being a commissioned salesperson. Even when I was a car dealer, I was a commissioned salesperson. If we didn't sell something, I couldn't pay the rent, right? But I started at a very young age. And I think that that's what makes great salespeople is that you learn the act of survival, that you learn how to create a market, sometimes when there's not even a market. And in today's world, I think that that's gone away. And that's what I get hired a lot to do, is to come in with the sales organizations. Well, I pretty much only get hired to come in with sales organizations. So one of the things I write in this article, and I'm going to kind of read my notes. I'd love to get your feedback on it. Christopher Campbell, good morning. We're talking about, where have all the good salespeople gone? You know, I mean, there are no great how to sell something in college courses. And I see that with my daughter, who, by the way, may I brag, is absolutely crushing it with a global company. It's a software as services. She's number 2 in the world in sales, and number 1 in the United States. It's a Swedish company, you know, but she's really, really taken the time to hone her craft. Part of it's genetic, there's no doubt about it. But part of it is that she invests in herself. In fact, she had me download a book for her the other day, The Challenger. I think it's called The Challenger. It's a sales methodology that's just excellent. And, you know, and so what is it? You know, where have the salespeople gone? What do people need to do? People that we're mentoring, or maybe some of you that are out there, you're thinking, this sales gig is hard. It's hard. You know, I'm not making the money I could make. But I'm telling you this, if you're not in sales, you're not going to make the money you could make. Think about that. Nobody's going to pay you a salary. It's that is near enough if you can't sell something. Sales is the greatest opportunity in the world. And in fact, I was at a company last week, a client of mine, and I was out there I talked to him about it before. Oh, Aaron's read the book, The Challenger. It's Challenger something. Aaron put it out there. Like I said, I just downloaded it for my daughter, Alex. And he's a 22-year-old young guy, just, you know, great looking, all the above. And he says, hey, I love what I do because nobody can cap my income. And I said, okay, that's great. What are you doing with all your money? He said, I'm putting every dime of it away. I'm saving. I'm like, okay, you're going to be somebody someday. So where have all the salespeople gone? Natalie Phillips, I want to congratulate you on Woman of Distinction Award. That is awesome. I wonder if that's for Girl Scouts. Let me know. I saw that on Facebook. It's very well deserved. But you know, what do great salespeople do to be great? This is an article I'm writing for an automotive pub that will be coming out probably next week or the week after. The title of it being, Where Have All the Great Salespeople Gone? Rose, the book I was just talking about, The Challenge Sale. Thank you. Excellent, excellent. Yes, it's a methodology for a very large company, for many, many large companies, and it a bit turns upside down from what we were taught in the past. So I would highly put it out there to you. But what I said was, you know, how great salespeople are built, that they take responsibility for the quality of their life and their learning. You know, they're not sitting back going, well, you know, my boss didn't teach me that, or I didn't learn that in sales training. Because frankly, sales training for most companies is womp, womp, womp. It's not great. Most companies are not willing to invest the money to, frankly, bring in someone like me or bring in some of the other great people out there. You know, I told the great Tom Hopkins the other night when I was just hanging out with Tom Hopkins. For those of you who don't know who Tom Hopkins is, they're probably the 2 greatest sales trainers of all times, Tom Hopkins and Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar is no longer with us, but obviously we all know that name, but many of you know Tom Hopkins. And, you know, just discussing with him, which is really what primed me to write this article. And so a lot of what I'm going to tell you about this morning is stuff that Tom Hopkins and I discussed when I was sitting there discussing sales with one of the greatest legends of all times at Sharon Lecter's house. It was just so cool. But you know, that they take responsibility for the quality of their learning and their life. How many people just sit back and they blame the boss because they're not selling something? Let's call it. How many of you have sat back and have blamed somebody else because you're not selling something? Hello, Joe Kayla, Rose. Okay. Number 2, the great ones. They are proactive in seeking learning opportunities. You guys are the great ones, you guys and gals, because you're on this show every single morning hoping to pick up some sort of nugget. What is it going to take your business to the next level? You've got to be unapologetically fierce, but you're doing something about it. Christopher says, Hopkins' book was the first one I read when I got in the car business back in 1993. Yeah, he was the first book I think I ever read too. So just to be able to sit, Chris, and be able to hang out with him, it was like, yeah, me and Tom Hopkins, we're just sitting here hanging out, talking about the lack of salespeople in the year 2019. Do a lot of people have sales titles? Absolutely, but they're not willing to do what it takes. right? Sales is an art. Sales is something that you hone your craft. I've been selling for 30 years, but I still read everything I can get my hands on. I still, try to get in front of people like Tom Hopkins. It was kind of a chance meeting, but Sharon Lecter wanted to make sure that the two of us met. And boy, that was one of the best 45 minutes that I've ever spent speaking to a legend, for him to remind me of what's missing. And it gave me the fuel to write this article that I'm writing. The great ones, they use professional coaches, have mentors, and belong to mastermind groups. Yes, they belong to mastermind groups. So I'll put a pitch in here right now. If you've got somebody out there who's struggling in sales, somebody out there who wants to take their business to the next level, will you tag them in this? Will you invite them to join Big Sellers Mastermind Group? You're doing them a disservice if you don't. When you build a community, when you join a mastermind, you can put it out there, right? I don't allow the negativity and the spam and stuff in my group. I approve every single post that comes through. So if the posts come through, I think it's worth it to the group. If the posts don't come through, I've looked at it. I look at everything. I'm like, it's mediocre at best. So, at the end of the day, what is it? What are you going to do? Because everybody on this show is a big seller. You are fierce. What else do big sellers do? They constantly take advantage of networking opportunities, looking for all types of people who can help them improve. You have a tribe sitting right here that can help you improve every single day. I know a lot of you are using it. I know you guys are reaching out to each other. I know you're talking to each other. But especially in big sellers, I want you to be able to put things out there. I want you to be able to message people, not spam them, but be able to message them and say, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. I probably answer 10 messages a day, 10 a day, of Lisa, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. What would you do in this particular situation? What would you do here? What would you do there? Baron, good morning. And then they help create strategic alliance relationships that are mutually beneficial. Okay. That's what I have done forever in business. I don't claim as a strategist that I know everything there is to know. I'm getting old enough that I should, right? You've been around the block long enough. So I have created amazing alliances with other consultants, with other companies. And I say, okay, this, when I was out in LA, I brought in my team from New York, and I said, okay, these guys and gals are the experts when it comes to digital marketing in the automotive industry. So, these are my partners on this project. And, and I allowed them to present the product. My job was to identify the problem, find the solution. I may not always be the solution. So think about that in your business. If you are great at what you do, you have to be able to identify the problem. You cannot be a consultant, entrepreneur, whatever, if you don't have the ability to identify problems. I'm going to tell you, go get on someone's payroll. But the great ones know how to bring in strategic partnerships. I've got some of the biggest partners in the world, literally, when it comes to strategic partnerships and bringing in experts. Once I've identified the problem, the client hires me, I identify the problem, and then it's my job to go find the best strategic partners that we can put together to solve the problem of our client, to create maximum performance. I think I told you guys and gals, I renamed my company Lisa Copeland Performance Agency. It was Lisa Copeland Global Enterprises because I had so many companies that fall under it. And I'm like, Global Enterprises, whatever. No, we are a performance agency. My team and all of my partners, we are performance experts. We teach companies how to go from here to here. We form alliances. We have a consortium. We come in and we tackle the problem of low performance within organizations. And we know what to do to raise the bar. Dina, Anthony, and Michelle, knowledge and expertise help me improve my business. And then last but not least, I had a good friend of mine over at the house last night. And she is absolutely a rock star. I mean, she's been a director at Dell. She's got a big job. She's somebody who goes out and she builds sales organizations. And we were just chit-chatting about something. She's, anyways, and I was telling her about some stuff. And here's what she said. In fact, I texted her this morning and I said, tell me exactly what you said last night because it stuck in my head. And here's what she said. She said, I said, when you find yourself in the weeds with all the pettiness that can happen in an organization, you're having the wrong conversations with the wrong people. I'm going to say it again as we close. This was a director at Dell. She's got a big job now. She's a big deal when it comes to this in the sales business, when it comes to software, hardware, and things like that. So she said, when you find yourself in the weeds, all of the pettiness that can happen in an organization, you're having the wrong conversations with the wrong people. Get to power. Okay, sales people out there, people that are out there, you guys right now that you're trying to make a deal happen. When you're in the weeds and you don't see that deal moving forward, Robin says, get to power. Go as high as you can in the organization where they care about the big picture and the results. Get above the fray and go to power. They want to solve big problems. Everyone else will fall in line when you're solving problems identified by the top. Boom. This is why the power of association. This is why, you need to hang out with people and not be the smartest person in the room. Last night when she came over to borrow a dress to go to a gala, and I was lobbing some stuff at her. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. And she was the smartest person in my bedroom last night as we were trying on clothes. But what a powerful statement. Everyone else will fall in line when you are solving problems identified by the top. So I don't know that I could tell you anything else any smarter than that this morning. I want to tell you guys, go out there and be fierce. Go out there and do what you know to do, which is to create solutions, solve problems, and perform at your highest level. Okay, until tomorrow. And be sure to tune in tonight. Anthony Santangelo and myself, I will be on Anthony's show at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. It'll be playing on his page and my page. So if you want a little bit more of me today or not, but for Anthony's sake, tune in tonight. I will see you then. Be fierce, and I'll see you tomorrow morning where we're going to talk more about sales. Bye-bye, y'all.